What's up, guys? Stas here. What an explosive day we saw in the stock market today. The S&P went up 1.6%, the Dow went up 1.4%, NASDAQ 100 up 1.5%, and the Russell went up over 1.7%. So I want to break down some technicals, go over a bunch of stocks I'm watching now, and I also want to go over some thoughts I'm having in the market. A lot of inflation is looking like it's looming, so we're going to talk about that later in this video. So hit the like button, subscribe, go down below, make sure to get $30 free from M1 Finance and 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600, and you could check out my Patreon. All of those are linked right down below. So let's talk, guys. Again, explosive day in the markets today. And a lot of this explosion, most of it came in the last hour. Power hour was insane. S&P double bottomed at 39.17 and it ripped to 39.78 in the span of 1 hour. That is a 1.6%, well, more like 1.5% move, a move of almost 60 points. And with this move, technically speaking, the bulls are 100% back in charge. Yup, you heard me right, guys. The bulls are back in charge. We ended up breaking out of this descending triangle. We mentioned this yesterday, and quite frankly, the past couple of days we've been talking about this, and we were making lower highs, right? 39.83, 39.55, 39.37, and so forth, but we were holding support at 38.85, 3900, hence the descending triangle. And now, and I mentioned this yesterday, guys, the second we break the moving average here, the 50 SMA on this hourly chart, right around 39.15, 39.20, expect a gap fill to maybe 39.50, and if 39.50 were to break, which it ended up doing, we were going to see a move to the all-time highs, and it's crazy to say we almost got to all-time highs today when it comes to the S&P. So awesome day, complete breakout, and by the looks of it, all-time highs might be tested next week. Yup, next week, Monday, Tuesday. Who knows? We might even hit an all-time high, and by the looks of it, 4,050, that is still very much in the cards right now when it comes to the S&P 500. And we had VIX. The VIX, it died down. Now it looks like volatility is, if we pull up this yearly chart, volatility looks like it's taking out the yearly lows. I mean, it actually did. Today, it hit a low at 18.68. And if we pull back to the 3-year chart, now we're getting to a point where the VIX hasn't been since 2019. So now we're going to be playing with the 15, 16, 17, 18, I was about to say dollar level, but that general range, right? 15, 16, 17. So volatility is dying down a bit. Is this the start of the next leg up? I mean, we saw a massive leg up today, but is there more in store? I think there's definitely a chance here by the break that we saw today. And the NASDAQ 100, take a look, up 1.55%. If you guys take a look here on the hourly chart, actually on the 4-hour, let me show you this, zoom in a bit. We did talk about this inverse head and shoulder. We've been talking about it a lot. The neckline was at 12,700, 800, and lo and behold, we ended up holding that today. We closed a little bit under 13,000, and I think at this point, there could be a move maybe to the 180 moving average here on the 4-hour chart at about 13,100. If that breaks, probably 13,300 is where I think we'd be going. So kudos to the bulls for holding 12,700, 800 on the NASDAQ 100 today. That is so big. And QQQ is going to be in the cards next week as a potential play, as this does track the NASDAQ, right? This is an ETF that you can play to make money as the NASDAQ goes up in basic terms here. And we saw it hold about 310. Now we're rallying to 316. We do have the 180 and the 50 moving averages coming up here as resistance on the 4-hour chart. So I think 318 should break. It needs to break, and then we should see a rally. I'm thinking maybe to 325, which could be a nice 2% move in store here for the QQQ ETF. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This is a freaking crazy day today. This was a crazy day, and I guess Jerome Powell, he came, guys. He came to the rescue with that money printer. He literally cranked that sucker up in the last hour because, I mean, again, look at this, guys. This is insane. The NASDAQ 100 went from 12,700 literally at 3 o'clock on the East Coast, and it went to almost 13K in an hour. I mean, come on, guys. That's just insanity. Talk about maybe manipulate. I mean, hey, I don't know. I'm not here to say that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, I would love to know. Now, in terms of me, I didn't really do anything new today. You guys know yesterday, or was that too? Whatever day it was, I ended up adding more to my long-term investment with Golden Nugget Online Gaming. Yesterday, I added ChargePoint to more ChargePoint at $20, which ChargePoint, if we pull that baby up right now, that one is it's sitting nice at $20.50. So I'm up a little bit on that stake that I took. Well, I averaged down yesterday. So that little $20 entry point, I'm up a little bit on that. And overall, I feel like this descending triangle still could play out on ChargePoint. Maybe we see a dump down to 17, 16, 18. I mean, I don't think it goes much lower than that unless we see a big drop in the markets. But I think ChargePoint at this point in time, it's a pretty good one to look at. And I'm not going to tell you guys to add it, of course. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I'm just here telling you all what I'm doing. So I bought ChargePoint. I bought GNOG, Golden Nugget Online Gaming, which this one I'm down on a good amount. I mean, I got in at $15.10 or 15 cents. My Patreon members see all the buy and sell alerts real time, and now it's down to $13.55. So I'm probably going to add, let me rephrase that. I am going to add more next week, most likely. If even here, $13.50, I'll probably buy more. I probably should have bought more today. I'm an idiot. But either way, next week, there's always another day. I always say that in the markets, guys. It's you don't have to force it. It's always the next day. There's always more trading days. You do not have to force trading. I mean, you don't have to trade every day. That's just the truth of the matter. I don't know if every YouTuber out there is going to tell you that, but you truly do not have to trade every day. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, GNOG added, ChargePoint, Tesla. I want to talk more about Tesla and NEO later on, so I'm not going to touch on them right now. But Tesla, I'm in that one. NEO, still in that one. That got devastated today. Closed down 5%. Earlier, it was down close to 10%, and maybe it didn't get devastated. I'm being a bit dramatic, but yeah, NEO, I'm in that. SLV, I'm also still in that one. Tattooed Chef, I'm also still in. These are my core swing, medium, longer term swing holdings at this point in time. And I'd love to know what you guys are doing. Drop a comment down below, and don't forget to check out my Patreon, where again, I go over all of this stuff, buy and sell alerts, real time with everybody there on Patreon. And I do call outs, morning update videos on there, and you have more access to me. So check out that. That's linked right down below. So let's talk a little bit about NEO, this looming inflation that we're seeing here, and the chip shortage. The chip shortage. This is a tongue twister. Chip shortage situation. We're seeing craziness right now because, look, NEO, they're shutting down 5 days. We're seeing a lot of the North American manufacturers. They're getting crushed right now in terms of these car manufacturers. And automakers are expanding and extending production cuts at these North American plants. And I'm reading some notes here I have on my iPad. And this is because of the global shortage of semiconductors. Chips for use in cars and trucks have been harder to come by as semiconductor makers have allocated more capacity to consumer products. I wonder why. The stimulus checks coming out, right? These products, the consumer products, are high in demand. The pandemic has caused a surge in orders for smartphones, TVs, computers, as people are trying to make extended life at home, excuse me, guys, more bearable, leaving less capacity for a stronger than expected rebound in vehicle demand. Recent weather-related disruptions of petrochemical supplies in the southern U.S. and a fire at a chip-making plant in Japan have also exacerbated the shutdowns. And we're seeing, take a look at some of these numbers, guys. Well, you can't see them, but I'll just read them to you. Consultant Alex, I can't even talk today, guys. Alex Partners has said the global chip shortage should cost automakers, this is insane, $61 billion in lost sales this year. And chip shortages have cost the global auto industry 130,000 vehicles in lost production. Research firm Auto Forecast Solutions estimates, with the heaviest impact in North America, with 74,000 units lost, in Western Europe with 35,000 units lost. And when it comes to NIO, we see NIO announced, let me pull up the chart very quickly. NIO announced, and that's why NIO got crushed today. Friday, today, it would halt production for 5 working days at its plant in Hefei, China. It also cut its first quarter delivery forecast to around 19,500 deliveries compared to the 20,000 to 20,500 vehicles it had previously expected. So this is very short-term in nature, the sell-off, the fear, the panic here around NIO. And with all of these, I'm not going to say all the chip shortage stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. But when it comes to NIO, this is very short term. The fact that they cut the guidance for this quarter, they're shutting down for 5 days. This is something that is going to affect the stock price today, obviously, maybe the next couple of weeks. But looking deep down the next year, 2 years, 3 years, this is simply a bump in the road. Simply a bump in the road. This could be a buying opportunity for the long-term investor if this drops. This is like a perfect scenario for the long-term investor. If this production cut, this chip shortage continues, this is perfect. So I think NIO could go down maybe $30, $32, $29 at the lower end. That is where I see the right shoulder here of the overall head and shoulder forming, or shall I say, completing. So watch out for that. And like I said, guys, looming inflation. We're seeing the chips, guys. There's not enough for the demand. There's so much money pumped out there. The money needs to go somewhere, and these consumers, they're pumping money into these products, and there's not enough chips out there. This is a sign of inflation. The very, very beginning signs, or medium, whatever. This is a sign in my eyes that inflation is here. There's a lot of dollars out there. There's a lot of demand. And there's like a shortage in the supply right now. And we're noticing that with oil. We're seeing oil prices going up. That's a sign of potential inflation. So, guys, I think inflation personally, and I've mentioned this before, I think it's higher than what we're being told. Hey, I don't know if that's just me, but I think we're not that. We could be being lied to, but I feel like they're brushing under the rug of how serious it is. Powell is saying it's transitory. It very well could be, but it might not be. There's so many trillions of dollars pumped in the market. Oil's going up. Gas is going up. Demand is going up. The economy's opening, and there's just so much. There's just so much going on, guys. And for me, again, I think inflation is here. I think it's here, and it's more than what is being noted. And I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments when it comes to that. This is some serious stuff, guys. We have to hedge against inflation, and I'll probably make a video on inflation hedge stocks that I'm buying. I already bought Barrick Gold about a month ago. I'm doing decent on that position right now. That's one of them, ticker symbol GOLD. But I'll go over some other ways you can hedge against inflation with gold, silver, Bitcoin, other ways. I'll make a separate video for that. Don't worry. And let me know in the comments if you guys do want to see a video like that. So, yeah, NIO, even Tesla, and all these, obviously, other automakers, they're going to have some trouble in the very, very short term. But like I said, this could be a buying opportunity. I think Tesla is going to go down maybe mid 500s. I don't think that's too crazy considering today it went down 4%. It was down. Did it crack under 600 today? Yeah, it pretty much. Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd want to consider that. It went to 599. So, yeah, technically it did crack under 600, but not in a meaningful way. But I think it will. I think we will get to the mid 500s, and that is where I'm looking to add more Tesla to my existing position. And another one here I'm looking at is Adobe. And if you guys were in the Patreon earlier, did we not call this out perfectly? This went up 4% today, up $18. We called it out on Patreon when it was at 458, 459. I told you all the 460 point of resistance. If that were to break, there was a big gap to fill to 470, 468. We did exactly that. Again, we went up 4% today, up almost $20 per share. And you may be asking yourself, Stas, is the Adobe move done? No, I don't think it is at all. We had good earnings last week. Good EPS, good guidance especially was raised, and revenue did well. So I think Adobe is going to see another move, potential gap up here. And mind you guys, 470 is a big resistance. I mean, look, we held that, or rather we struggled at that point many times in the past. But if 470 could break, I say 475 breaks too. We get some momentum out of there. I'm thinking Adobe is going up towards 500. So I'm going to set an alert, and I'm going to probably put it at 475. I'm going to do that very quickly. If 475 were to break, look, guys, 505, 510 on the higher end of the target. That is where I think it could go, and that's about 7% higher from where we are now. So watch out for Adobe. I really think there's a lot more upside on this one. Shopify is another one which, did it go? I mean, it was down a lot yesterday and the past couple of days. Today it actually inched out a green day, barely up 0.3%. And overall, the past couple of days, like I said, it's dropped from almost $1,200 all the way to $1,000 earlier per share. That was a drop of 15% in just the past 3 trading days, guys. That is an epic drop on Shopify. And I'm not sure if you guys picked up the dip. I didn't. I'm looking to. But if you bought the dip, let me know. I mean, Shopify is getting to a pretty decent spot, I'd say, as a swing especially, and even as a long-term investment, depending on your risk tolerance, your time horizon. Look, it's down 35% from the all-time high. It looks like we are holding 1,000, 1,050 right now at a higher low. If you guys look on this 3-year chart, actually, let me pull up this yearly chart instead. You guys can see we are holding the uptrend on the yearly chart. It's easier to see here. And as long as we hold 1,000, 1,050, I think this is in play. And ideally, I'd like it to break over 1,100. 1,100 is a sticking point. So I'm going to set an alert there. I think if we break 1,100, Shopify is a good roads ahead of it, in my opinion, to get to 1,150, 1,200. And I think there's upside really back to 1350, that general area. And again, it depends on your time horizon, your risk tolerance, and I don't expect it to get to 1300 in the next week or two. I mean, this is going to take probably some months, couple months at least. But again, it comes down to what your time horizon is. So I'm watching Shopify. Have an alert at 1,100. We'll see what happens at that point in time. Netflix is another one that's proving to me that it's holding the uptrend that we're seeing on the yearly chart. Let me pull this up for you all. Take a look at this here on Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. This one, clear resistance at about 560, 65, 570, right around there. But we're also uptrending, making higher lows into that resistance. So I'm thinking this is an ascending triangle. And like I said, we're right at the support right now at 500, 506, 510, right where it's held in the past. So I want to see if this uptrend continues here. I have a feeling it is, unless we collapse next week. That's always possible. But by the looks of it, the trend's looking good. So I'm going to set an alert on Netflix. Let me put it at maybe 515. Actually, no, that's too high. Maybe 512. We'll put it at 512 here on Netflix. And from there, guys, I'm telling you, I think we could see a push towards the mid 500s. Seriously, I think that is it's not too crazy to think for Netflix. CL is another one we called out recently. The past 2 days, we've been talking about Colgate-Palmolive. It was right around this 77, 78 level of resistance. It was. Now we broke out of it like we talked about. We were right around the 180 moving average. We clearly, like I said, broke out of that. Now I think, yeah, we are overbought. RSI is looking a bit hot here on the 4 hour. It's very hot. But I think we could get a pullback, maybe 78, 78.50. I wouldn't necessarily rush it here where we are now at $79. But if we pull back $1, maybe a little bit more, I mean, I think that could be a decent spot with an upside target of about $80, $81.50. And yeah, I mean, you're not going to make a killing on Colgate-Palmolive from trading the shares. You got to move a lot of money. I mean, if you have $1,000, you're not going to make much money trading Colgate-Palmolive. But let's say you have 50,000 or something. You take a position, with Colgate. You make that little 1-2%. Now we're talking. That's a little bit better. So again, you have to ask yourself, is this even worth it for your trading? The size of your account. That's a question for yourself. But for me, I'm looking at this. Yeah. I think it'd be a decent move, from $78.50 to about $80. Like I said, $81, $81.50, $82. So I like Colgate-Palmolive. And the last one here is Facebook, ticker symbol FB. We also called this one out a couple trading days ago when it was at 270. We called the move up to about 300. Now it's dumped back down to about 275, 280. And I think this could end up filling up again, up to $300. I believe by the looks of it, we are holding the wedge resistance as support, again at 275, 280. Now I just want to see a break probably above 285, so I'm going to set an alert at 285. If that were to break, guys, I'm thinking 300 is next for Facebook. So yeah, I mean, those are some thoughts on the market. Stocks I'm currently holding, some thoughts on inflation. Again, everything I mentioned, you guys, I mean, inflation is here. I really believe it's more than what people are, alluding to. We'll see in due time, we will find out. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below. And if you all enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to go down below, get $30 free from M1 Finance. All you have to do is use my link, deposit any amount of money, and you get $30 for free. You could also check out my WeBull link, also linked down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 with WeBull, and you get 2 stocks valued up to $1,600. And you could check out my Patreon for real-time buy and sell alerts, access to me throughout the day, morning update videos, call-outs throughout the day. There's a ton of value on Patreon. Check that out, linked right down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, have a great weekend. Let's relax a little bit this weekend, guys. This week in the markets was freaking crazy. So have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there. Peace out.